Hello, everyone, and welcome to Relationship Rhetoric. I'm your host, Unapologetically Angela. I hope that this Tuesday is treating you well. I am really overjoyed. I know I typically say that I'm excited, but today I am overjoyed. Um, I am going to end the month of November with family. And I am going to continue on through the end of the year interviewing family members and getting to know them, beyond the surface level. We have a tendency to take advantage of our families and not really knowing what's going on in their lives, not really knowing what's happening on the day to day and the changes that they go through to just survive. And I think I can speak for a lot of us. They're one of the strongest relationships that you can have outside of your siblings are your cousins. I have the most amazing cousins on either side of my family. But today I'm speaking to a cousin from my daddy's side of the family. If anybody knows my father's side of the family, man, you can't even put into words the type of love. It's like beef stew. It's got all these ingredients. It's so rich. It's so loving. It's always hearty. And so, grew up with her and just watched her impasse. We were just talking about us, only really hanging out when we had a family gathering, if we were going to a funeral, and sitting by each other, hugging on each other, not realizing, we struggling. And as we grow older, we learn to lean and depend a lot more on our family. So the relationship between a cousin and my cousins on my mama's side, no, we just ride or die, period. So tapping in to talk to one of my favorites. She's always been different. That has always drawn me to her because she's always been very standout-ish. So let's just dive in and see what Duana Jackson, as we lovingly call her Pooh, has to say, because she has a story to share that I know is going to help someone on today. Hey, cuz.
Hi, girl.
It is good,
Hi,
good to
cousin.
see you.
You
Mhm.
too. I'm
It is.
excited.
I'm glad because at first she was a little nervous, but we're there. We're here
Yes.
now. I
I
have
don't
to
know why
say,
I would be nervous with you anyway, because we click, so it's
and I
great.
was just going to say, I've really enjoyed us as adult cousins. Hanging out
Yes.
and meeting up places and so forth and so on. It's really been nice. So
Yes.
I appreciate you. And y'all, she make the greatest macaroni cheese,
Macaroni.
macaroni and cheese. My God, today. Anyhow, anyway. So I want you to just let's start with childhood, because again, you've always been different. I think you and I have been very similar, just not always being the typical. Disclaimer, y'all, she got children, so they're gonna come in and out. That's just a part of the process. I'm just letting you know now. So when you see my eyes get the wondering and frowning, it's the kids, it's the girls. I
Okay,
saw
yes, I'm a mommy.
she's a mommy. She is a
Whew.
mommy.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a testimony to that. Childhood, man. Where do we start with childhood?
So did you ever, like, for instance, with me, I always felt different. I always felt like I was kind of the rogue. I wasn't normal. I wasn't complying to what the everyday everybody did.
Kid, yeah, yeah. I
So,
can see myself in that light. Like on my dad's side, I feel like I fit in. I fit in with you guys, but when it came to my mama's side, I feel like I was the black sheep. You know,
mhm, mhm.
they wanted me around, but didn't want me around. Still to this day, that mama side, they won't never give me that props of she taught me this, she taught me that. I watch her do this. Still to this day, I never get that props. Even right now with me growing, a lot of people can't accept that because now I can see um people being a narcissist or manipulation and things like that. Growing up, I didn't know what that stuff was, and I didn't learn until I realized I was one of those people.
Mm.
So I questioned myself a lot, like, damn, was I like that as a kid? Is that why my mom's side saw me different? Is that why they didn't love me? But when it came to the dad side, to me, I feel like the dad side, we was the perfect family. We throw our shade and laugh, and we back together. We ain't holding grudges, and I'm gonna go kiki over here. So it was different.
Okay. Um. So, at what point did you feel like there was beginning an internal struggle with you about who you were and what you wanted to be?
Um, I'm not gonna even say I struggled. I just came across as every season in my life or change, I always come off as this is who I am in this season.
Mm.
Example of I dated men when I was younger, but I knew that as a female, even now, I still deal with temptation of liking women. But as a mother and being in that lifestyle, I ask myself, do I want my kids to go that way? Not saying I wouldn't love them, but that's a big lifestyle to hold on your shoulders, even still to this day. So um, I think this baby made me lose my train of thought over here. She's over here rolling on the floor and everything else. Lord have mercy. I think it goes back to like I said, just knowing that I dated women and I just forced it on people. I didn't ask for permission, even with my mom, my dad, especially with my mom. She was a loving mother, but she was just like, no, not my daughter. But she still loved me, but I didn't give them permission to say, you can't live like this. You're not going to tell me how I live because I'm going to be different, So, and that's what I did. I never struggled with, oh, people not going to like this. People not going to like that. I never gave, you know what?
Okay. Okay. So did you feel like during that phase in your life that, outside of your mom and your dad, that we supported you? Because I'm trying to remember. I don't ever think I remember you bringing um a lover
Nope.
around
Now
us.
nope on the dad. Now with my daddy, oh yeah. But when it came to y'all, it was like,
You weren't real sure.
no, yeah. I didn't know how y'all would accept it because of how your grandmother, which is my great grandmother, and granny, especially granny, she was all day 7 day Adventist, so
Hmm.
it was like, oh, I know how this was. It was go to church every Sunday and rest on Saturday. So it was like, I don't know if I can just be open with them like that. I might have told Fry a couple of stories, or he'll check me and be like, "Uh-oh, you got another girl name tattooed on you." I'd be like, "Leave me alone,
Oh, I
man."
remember that. I remember that. You,
He
you
used to get
did.
on me. Yes. You see, I'm covered up like,
Now I do remember that. Okay. So do you think that stage in your life, even though it was a stage and you accepted it, do you think that it was just a curious stage? Were you still attracted to men?
um, I was attracted to men, but I can remember back then I would keep certain men close as my friends. And I used to be like, okay, I'm gonna date this man when I get older. And even right now, my kid's father, he is one of them men. So I've been knowing him since I was 12, 13. So, growing up, you can say, oh, I'm gay. But a lot of us holler we gay, but behind closed doors, we still getting that wallet inside that pocketbook, baby. So I was, she was. And then it
Okay.
just came a point to where it was like, okay, nah, I just want to date women for a long period of time, So what actually drew me away from women was the last relationship that I had. I dated a woman for almost 8 years, and to find out she was still married to her husband. She was still having sexual relationships with her husband. You know, she lied about who her mom was. So to me, I feel like, man, I let this girl inside my world. Like, you know my real mama, you know my lifestyle, you know me. So I ended up having a nervous breakdown. I had to check myself in a mental place because there was a lot to unpack. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
was traumatized because I opened my world up to this certain female. So after her, it was like, I'm done, and I'll never forget March 18th. That's when I was like, I'm done with women. But a relationship is a relationship. What I've learned on both sides of the world, you gonna go through it with a man or a woman.
That's right.
You know, so I don't care who you with. You gotta learn how to be honest with people and just be open with people on what you want.
That's right. So let's talk about the nervous breakdown. What other than that, what do you feel like you learned about yourself or isolating yourself in an institution helped you develop what you didn't know you had?
Um, my willpower, the willpower to pick myself up and realize that I draw a lot of people, to me because um, throughout my life, I healed myself. You know, I didn't have a lot of friends I can talk to. You know, back then, black people couldn't go see no counselor. You know, you couldn't do that. So I knew that I was that type of person where I could heal myself. I'm gonna be in it for a moment, and sometimes I would just sit in it for a long period of time. You know, and that's when depression might come and the anxiety might come. But sometimes we as people we put those things on ourselves and we don't even have to. Sometimes you just have to learn how to walk away and let go. You know, stop thinking with our emotions so much.
Hmm. Hmm. So at that point in your life, um, what was your prayer life like? What was your spirituality or religious belief?
Um, I, I, I just really can't say. You know, like I said, we grew up 7 Day Advantage. I
Right.
didn't learn about Christianity until I was like 13, 14. And as I grew older, going to church on Sundays, I was like, oh, nah, this ain't it. This ain't for me. You know, and people are
Mhm.
laughing at me, and I be like, I grew up 7 Day Adventist. They were like, they Christianity too. I was like, but my grandmama, she was that type of Christian where she played hypocrite. She ain't throw rocks behind her hand. You know, so people laugh and I be like, I don't care. It's still 7 Day Advantage. I ain't call her a Christian because she didn't live like Christians. Christians judge you like they don't have sins that they dealing with. You know, so
Mhm. Mhm.
I really did, and then at the time, I didn't know a lot about the spiritual world. You know, I would experience things, but I never had nobody to teach me or to show me along the way. So as I got older, I just started teaching myself, and that's what they say. Sometimes you have to teach yourself. So that's what I began to do. Even right now, I'm still teaching myself.
Right, right. And it's so interesting for the way that our family, I guess, dynamic is that half of my daddy's side is 7 Day Adventist. The other
Mhm.
half, full blown Baptist Christians. And I really didn't know the difference until we started having funerals and how funerals were very different. And it's just interesting that us as
Mhm.
a family haven't had more conversation about that and just the differences. Because we
Mhm.
all a little bit of something right now. So
Right.
okay.
People get
So
mad because I be like, oh, I'm sorry. I be like, I'm not a Christian. Don't call me a Christian. I just represent the creator. I like the spiritual word. In other
mhm,
words, I rather go by the laws of honor my mother, honor my father. I'm just not.
you don't need a
I'm just
label.
not for. Yeah, I'm good with
Hmm.
that.
Hmm. Okay. So talk to me about your process, I guess, when you left the institution and just was getting yourself back into the flow of just functioning. Had you had any babies by then?
No.
Okay.
But I was taking care of everybody else's kids. I was drawn to everybody else's kids. That's how I knew I was gonna be a great mom, because every relationship that I was in, I took care of other people's kids, and they would leave their kids with me, like they didn't have kids. Not bashing them or nothing, but it's just that spirit that I have. Even with my little cousins, I would get them on the weekend. But to answer your question, it was crazy. I can remember like it was yesterday. The same girl who did it, I can remember calling her on the phone saying, "Hey, I gotta get out of here because this crazy. It's some real crazy people in here." So we down on Jefferson Street, across from the VA hospital. There was the crazy house. So they had this glass wall. They got women on one side and men on the other side. So I'm in here with these three women because they tell me, "Yeah, we're gonna let you have your cigarettes and your phone and you can do this." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go check myself in because I need some help. Like my brain, it's not functioning. I can't think." So I'm sitting there and I'm really looking at these other two women and they arguing. Then one of them got to spin and I was like, "Oh no, oh baby." What did you do? So I'm like, if you spit on me, we gonna fight.
Cause
So
you
I'm
was quick to bite.
yeah.
Get that baby.
She giving it to me. Come on. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. He took your headphones. I know. So you gonna get his body.
He's so precious. Oh my goodness, look at him.
Sorry, cousin.
You all right?
Motherhood. I started late, did it?
It's all right.
Okay, you want to see cousin? No, I didn't say that. He trying to get everything but the right thing. So, anyway, so at that point, I was like, still mad at her, but I'm seeing how it really finna go down in here, and I'm like, oh hell no, I gotta get up out of here. So I got some act right. I bet my brain got right then. So I can remember them. I can remember calling her on the phone, telling her, "All right, come get me, and when you pull up, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna ball on them." She was like, "How you gonna run?" I was like, "Girl, I gotta get out of here." So evidently they listened to your conversation. So by the time the people come get me, girl, I was so mad. They put the handcuffs on my wrist and my ankle, so I couldn't run nowhere. So they transported me to another hospital. So the doctor, he come in and he having a conversation with me, and I tell him, I said, I think I was just having a rough time, dealing with somebody for that long and not knowing who they were. And that will put you in a position to where you will feel some type of way, So I end up talking with some sense and he let me up out of there. I was like, okay, nah, I ain't ready for that lifestyle. It's okay. That's when I learned at that moment, this is life and you're going to have plenty more relationships and you just have to know how to stop thinking with your emotions, stop moving with your emotions and your feelings. You got to use your head. Sometimes it's good to just walk away from people, So after that, that's what I did. I just walked away from her. And as I walked away, we still build a friendship. I still communicate with her to this day. Her daughter still call me godmom. So it wasn't an easy process, but I'm grateful for the process because if I didn't go through it, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how to deal with a lot of situations that I get in right now.
Okay, so we got over that hurdle.
Mm-hmm.
We are, coasting along a little bit. So talk to me about the next hurdle after that.
It ended up being after I left her, goes back to when I said manifest one of them male friends I always kept around. So we stayed in the village square, we stayed having little parties and he would always come around and so as I removed from being in the gay lifestyle, I ended up dating him March 18. It was like left a female and just jumped straight in because it was like I've been knowing him the same amount of time I've been knowing her since 13, 14 years old. So I ended up dated him, and that's when I started getting the drift of the world of being in relationships with men. I was like, oh gosh, this ain't no better than women, Good gosh almighty. You can't win for lose. So that's when I got a little wild then. I think I became a cheater and was like, look, I'm finna do me, baby. I can't be tied down. I went through that with old girl. I was like, okay, I'm about to do me.
So where in that did the drugs come in?
Oh man. A lot of people would say generational
Mm.
curse. Generational
Mm-hmm.
curse.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be honest. I can't tell my mom's story, but my mom, she was a drug addict, but I didn't choose her choice of drug, you know. Um, I would have never known my daddy was a drug addict. I can't tell his story either, but I would have never known if it wasn't for his second wife, because my mom was his first wife.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people like it's the generation of curse, but sometimes we as humans put our own self in a generational curse. And it actually don't be a generational curse. We label ourselves as that because we choose to go down the path that we went down. So mine came from having friends not knowing my worth, with even myself not knowing my worth. I got around friends that really wasn't my friend that introduced me to the drugs. And I had cousins on my mom's side who introduced me to drugs. They was like third and fourth cousins. They was like my mama's second cousin. So that's how the drugs became in. And cocaine was my drug. At first, I didn't know why I was doing it. Just doing it just to be a follower, because I'm seeing my friends doing it, thinking it's cool. Then it turned to be a coping thing, running from childhood situations of being molested by a woman, being molested by a cousin, So then I turned it into that, and it went all the way up into off and on until I had my first child, and that's when I was like, oh wow, I'm about to become a mama. It was cool when I was around other people's kids, but it's like, hey, that light bulb came on. Like, damn, is this what you really want to introduce to your own? Come on, little baby.
He said, "Don't be telling our business, Mama."
Right. You gonna fall? Oh, you gonna hold it for a minute? Thank you. Okay. Sorry. So that's how the drugs for me started coming out of my choice of drug, and then I began to introduce it to other people. So it was like a chain effect. When somebody introduced it to me, let me introduce it to you. Um, like I said, so when I had her, and I think she was like 4 months, 3 months or 4 months. It was just like, this is not it. I can't do this no more. I can't sit up and get high, because when you on that type of drug, it's an upper. You up all night, you moving, and so by the time that drug wear off, you ready to go to sleep. You ready to get under some cover, and by the time you wake up, you looking for a full course meal. So with me, it was like, okay, I'm done. This is not what I want no more. This is not what I want in my life. I'm a mom now, so thank the creator. I haven't done that. My baby is 7 years, so I say 6 years. I've been away from that drug.
Okay. 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 I love it. I love it. So tell me the personality traits of yours that you see in your children.
Oh, D Harmony, old soul. She loved to clean. She loved to help cook. Even with my mom, when she was doing a little walking, she would wrap her legs, caring, carefree. lovable, kind, shy. People don't think that I'm shy. Sometimes I am. I'm a little shy. I just have to open up, but I have this shyness of me. Kiana. Oh, yeah. That's my child. Outspoken. Don't care what she say, who she said to, when she said. That middle child, yeah, she got a lot of my traits, and I'd be like, I send that spirit back to where it came from, because we would not, I would not give you that spirit. And I had a friend of mine tell me sometimes, you shouldn't think like that. Don't try to project my insecurities off on them, because they might not turn out to be of
like
my, yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
That's right. That's right.
yeah.
Is the young king showing any?
Oh yeah.
The only boy.
Right. He's man, cause he's smart. He's that spiritual baby. He gave me that spiritual awakening.
Wow.
My first time of experiencing a shift within myself. So him, oh, he gonna be powerful. I don't know where he gonna lead our family to, but he that golden. He's golden. He gonna lead us somewhere.
All of us got a pink baby. We got a pink boy.
Yep.
It's something about them boys.
I be telling him, I wanted you to be chocolate like Grandma Kelly, boy. I didn't want you to be red.
Girl, please. With your grandmama as high yellow as she was,
I
please.
know.
Please.
That's both of them, because my mama, she's real high yellow too.
So, if you could describe how you feel now in the process of you, like you said, teaching yourself and evolving into this new you, how would you describe yourself?
I'm still I'm still rough around the edges, but I'm more understanding versus patience. I think I'm still trying to find a lot of patience. I have to tell myself that it wasn't easy for you changing those bad habits of being a narcissist or being a manipulation or trying to control situations. So now I'm walking myself through that, like, okay, hey, it took you time to get to where you at, so I'm trying to find room to be more lenient with people, but it's just like I'm in a space where I'm just like, we either gonna get it right or we not. At this age, I feel like at a certain age, you should already know better, but in a lot of situations, a lot of us still don't know better because we still holding on to old things, and we can't go back. All we can do is move forward and say, hey, I want to heal. This is not how I want to be no more. I don't want to keep bringing up these old stories and throwing things in people's faces. So I think right now I'm just laid back and very carefree, very understanding. I'm just not for the BS or the small talk. If we have a miscommunication or a disagreement, let's just have it. Let's not go below the belt. And I've learned to do that, and a lot of people can't accept that about me right now because I know how to hold a communication with you. I know how to be in a uncomfortable conversation, but be okay. I won't get tense with you because it took time for me to get here, and other people have to be willing to want that too.
Right. So I keep hearing you say that you were a narcissist. What gave what because I draw narcissists. That's a trait that I draw out of people. So what behavior led you to know that you were a narcissist?
Playing the victim a lot of times in the situation, and I would make the situation. Like I said, playing the victim, doing little things. You know how you do little things. What's a good example? I can't even say, cuz.
Okay. I mean, it's just interesting because very few people who have that character trait, are able to admit that. So that's the reason I asked. So before we leave, I want you to do a couple of things for me. So there are people, women, men, whoever, who are struggling with just being curious sexually and exploring and trying to figure out what it is that's going on. What piece of advice would you give them?
I would say, get out your head. A lot of times we be in our head so much to where we forget who we are because we so focused on people looking at this outer body, but that's not what's important. I realize that it's about my inside. You know, I could be cute all day with these lashes and with this lip gloss on. I could be cute without it, you know, but if this inside is not whole and you're not trying to grow and learn, then you're gonna forever be in the same position. You're gonna forever feel like you a victim, or you're gonna forever be in that narcissist role or that manipulation role or those type of traits, period. You know, so I would tell them to, for me, what I do, I write, I listen to meditation music. Those things help. I do yoga, which the Christians say that's evil. That's, you know, whatever. I do, before I got on here with you, shuffle my cards and did my cards, you know, and gave me, you know, you have to find what fits you. Quit
That's
trying
right.
to be like other people and do what
That's
other
right.
people do. Find you and be you. That's what my sister always say. Find you, be you, and do you. You know, it started with you.
Okay. So we have people who are using drugs as coping mechanisms or using drugs just to fit in. What advice would you have for them?
Okay, it's not worth it. It's not worth your sanity. It's not worth your sacred place because this is our sacred place. You know, it's a holiness. It's not worth it. You know, if we have to do those things to be somebody's friend, then it's time to take a reality check and say, okay, look, I just can't be your friend no more because this is not it. You know, I don't want this for my life, especially when you know you see greater in your life and you surrounded by people that they might not see greater in their life. You know, they might be going through some way worse than you. You know, so it's not worth it. Do you be you? Find a way for you to pull away from those type of people, and it don't have to be where we use the word generational curse. We can break that curse. We can stop that. Excuse me. It don't have to be like that.
Okay. And lastly, at this point in your life, right today at 7:33, what would you say is your greatest joy?
My greatest joy. Can I turn this camera around? These three kids. These three kids and my mama and my dad. Um, they push me. They push me on days when I don't want to be pushed. They push me on days when I don't want to be bothered. And not even just them. I would even include you and some of our other cousins. Pam, Fry. I got a Aunt Jackie, Tasha. Like y'all are my greatest joys because I look at y'all and I see. I never experienced any struggles of yours, but I still see your greatness, and I'd be like, okay, oh wow, that's what I'm trying to get. You know, you can feel your spirit, and your spirit is very kind, laid back, loving. You know, like just don't cross me. Um, I think that is my greatest joy in myself of teaching myself along the way because I didn't have nobody to teach me. I didn't have mentors. I didn't have friends to come around and say, "Hey, think about this." Not saying do this or do that, but like I said, even myself, I would say because I've taught myself a lot, so I will pat my own self on the back. Because sometimes I will get lost. Like I told you, I didn't realize that I have grown. so much, until y'all make me look at it and be like, girl, you have, because I was a whole hot mess out here, always ready to fight, always rah, 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 like, it's just like, don't get on her ball. I could just throw some petty shade at you and leave alone, and don't got to go below the belt, because that's going to kill you even worse.
That's right.
That's my grade.
That's right. Well, Pooh, I am so proud of you. I really, really am, because there is a level of peace that just covers you. And I mean, I have to admit, I do remember when you was always ready to fight. I mean, always ready to. And I was like, I don't know what to do if she get to fighting. I don't know what to do. But again, the mother that you are and how I see you, you are consistent. And I am so proud that you are seeking and continuing to evolve into the goddess that you desire. And so I'm grateful for you. You're always in my prayers. I love being around you. I love your hugs. Your cousins here on in the chat going in.
I can't see nothing.
Girl, Pam, everybody. Lisa, just going in, because we support you. We support each other. So you always know if you need any of us for anything, we always come through. We always come through. All right. So thank you. We have accomplished the goal.
Yay, I made it. To your show. That's all right. I'll be back when I get this biggest accomplishment that I'm trying to get. I keep failing, but I'm going to get it.
You're going to keep, as long as you here, that means you got some work to do.
Yes, that's right. Hello.
That's right. That's right. So hug those babies for me.
I will.
And we'll talk soon. I love you.
Love you too, cuz. Love and light.
Absolutely. Y'all, I love my family. From North Memphis, South Memphis, East Memphis to West Memphis. I love my family. There's nothing like it. It doesn't matter if we don't talk every day, if we talk once a month, if we talk once a year. There is nothing like a true family bond. And I'm just truly grateful that the family that I have, we truly are a ride or die situation. Thank you so much. I hope and pray that you all have family bonds that are as precious to you as mine are to me. I hope that over this season, those of you who do not have family and those that are alone, that there is someone close to you who can hug on you and love on you. If not, those people at the sound of my voice, if you know someone who is struggling during this season, please reach out. Please reach out and give a kind word. You have no idea what a simple kind word can do for someone in need. I'm asking and I'm begging to charge you for the rest of the month of December. If someone crossed your mind, reach out, say hello, check on them, check on your people, check on your family, check on your coworkers, check on your friends. People are in need, guys. People are seeking love, and some people don't believe or see love in sight. Be that catalyst of love for someone else. Thank you so much for tuning in. Family and friends, y'all mean so much to me. The rest of the month is over. This is November 3rd. Tomorrow is already the end of 2021, and we're going to focus on family the whole month of December. Please rest well. Take care of yourselves. Peace, love, and family. Have a blessed night, guys.